Welcome, MSU, to another Sunday message. I hope that your weekend has been wonderful and blessed. I hope that something a part of this weekend has given you some joy or peace or rest that you need. Either way, I hope that all is well, and we're glad that you're here on this Sunday. Just a few announcements as always. Wesley on Wednesday is happening in Olympus 130. We would love for you to come out and join us as a time of fellowship, and we just hang out and engage in some thoughtful Bible study. So that's one thing. Also, free lunch is officially back. And so we look forward to serving you in grab-and-go style food. So if on Thursday between 12 and 1, you want a different option, or maybe you just want something in general, we'll have a hot meal for you at the University United Methodist Church Fellowship Hall. More information will be on that, so stay tuned to our social media. Our Instagram page, which is Wesley of WF, and our Twitter page, which is the Wesley_MSU. And just stay tuned in general for all that we're doing, because it is our hope to give y'all great, amazing program and content and times of fellowship with people who love God and trying to grow and be their best selves. So let's get into today's message. Listen, we have been digging into the book of Genesis, primarily Genesis chapter 3, talking about temptation. And so if you remember last week, we talked about temptation and all the ways that temptation comes, and even some ways to avoid temptation. But the truth of the matter is this: sometimes we fall to that temptation and we make choices that have consequences. And sometimes when we fall and make those choices, we have to live with those consequences. And I believe wholeheartedly the Bible teaches us how to do that. If you remember the story that we've been talking about in Genesis, Adam and Eve have been deceived by the serpent, and they ate from the fruit from the tree, and they found out they were naked. I don't know how many of y'all ever found out you were naked, but they found out that they were naked. And God had to come in and give them some consequences. So in Genesis chapter 3, picking up at verse 8, going all the way to verse 19, those consequences, or the consequence of that choice is outlined. And so I just want to drop for you all just 3 simple things that I think can help you embrace what happens when there are consequences to your choices, or maybe help you before you even make the choice. And the first point is this: that we can make all the choices we want, but remember, you can't choose the consequences. I'll say that again for somebody who probably didn't hear me correctly. Look, you can make all the choices you want, but you cannot, I'll say that again, you cannot choose the consequences. And the reason for that is because we don't know what our choices are going to do to others. We don't know the actions that our choices make until we actually do them. And so sometimes we make choices and we can't deal with the consequences. How many times have you been in a conversation with someone and you decided upon yourself that you're going to go off on them? And you say, when I tell them a piece of my mind, they really going to get it. And that relationship go way left. And now you don't have a friend, or you're not in a relationship anymore because you made the choice to engage it in that way, as opposed to thinking about ways that you can engage it where the consequences will be in your favor. So remember, no matter what choice you make, you cannot choose the consequences. The second thing is this, though. Every choice we make, or most of the choices that we make, they affect other people, even if we made it by ourselves. See, oftentimes we think that the choices that we make, especially we live in a culture where everything is about us, individual. I do what I want. I'm free. But just remember, when you make that free choice, that choice affects somebody else. Adam and Eve in the text had no clue that over 2,000 years later, we'll still be dealing with the consequences of their choice. They chose to eat from the fruit, and as a consequence of that, women now have periods and things of that nature, which, you can blame Eve, but you can blame Adam too. But we're still talking about the ramifications of that choice. And so remember, sometimes you're going to make a choice and you thought you made it on your own, but all of our choices affect somebody in some way. And lastly, every choice we make either gives us life or gives us death. Every single choice. We either make choices that give us or add to our lives, or we do things that add to our death. Think about it like this. We eat food. Some of the food either makes us healthy or unhealthy. Unhealthiness leads to death. Healthiness leads to more life. And so that goes across the board. So remember, when you do decide to make a choice, ask yourself, is this a choice of life or a choice of death? These are the three things that I want to leave with y'all. And I hope that as you continue to live and temptations come upon you, you'll think about the choices that you make so that you can live a life that is free from bad consequences and free and giving you all the life that you need. And so thank you for joining with us on this Sunday. Hope to see you next week. Peace.